Yeah, just first of all, Simon, team news, how's everyone come through, namely Alex Miller with the jaw?
Yeah, Alex is good. He had some x-rays and CT scans and they were clear, so I think he just had a couple of loose teeth, which thankfully for us, he's trained well today. He'll train Thursday and we expect him to play. I think, there's a few battered and bruised bodies, a couple of guys there that are limited with their training this week, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. We expect them all to play.
Any returns, Michael Lawrence, Aaron Murphy?
No, Murph, if it was a semi-final, Murph would have been right this week, but given the fact we've got next week off, we just thought the extra couple of weeks would do him the world of good. Bruno, Michael Lawrence, we're hopeful he'll be back after the week off next week too, so he's out of the boot and started his rehab, so hopefully in the next 2 weeks that all goes well for him and he's ready for the wakey go.
Hull are going through a bit of a tough patch at the minute, it's fair to say. What have you made of them recently?
Yeah, pretty much that. They haven't been great the last couple of months and they've had a lot of injuries and they've lost their last 5 games, so they're going through I think what we went through as a club early in the year with injuries and it's tough times for Lee, but I'm sure they're looking to finish off well in the next 6-7 weeks and we're again, as was the case last week, we're preparing for the Hull to come and play their best footy and again it's been smooth so far, concentrating on what we need to improve on and what we're doing well, and obviously we've had a fair look at Hull too, so a normal week's preparation for us, and like I said, we'll be preparing for the good Hull.
Could it be perceived as a bit of a free hit for them, the fact that you're playing so well, the fact that they aren't, they've got a lot of injuries, they're away from home, they're probably not going to make the playoffs now, could they just see this as a game where they can play with a bit more freedom, which naturally makes them a bit more dangerous?
Yeah, look, they could do that, but I think going through what they've been through the last couple of months, they're probably down on a bit of confidence, and but, whether that means playing a bit more with a free spirit this week and throwing the footy around and see where it gets them, I'm not too sure. I mean, I don't know a lot about all their players, so where they're at, but like I said, we're expecting them to come and play well. Understand where they've been, but what they've been through in the last couple of months. So, it only takes one good performance and a couple of passes to stick to gain a bit of confidence. So we need to make sure we've been really good defensively in the last couple of months. We just need to make sure that's in order, and our attack's improving all the time. Even though, the last 40-50 minutes of the game the other night, we didn't have many opportunities. We scored some nice tries early, and we just need to keep ticking along the way we are. Where in particular
do you think that your team can improve at this moment in time? If there was one particular aspect that you really wanted to improve, what would it be?
Our intent and our contact, we've spoken a lot about with our D. Sometimes they're a little bit passive, particularly when teams are coming out of their own end. We've spoke a lot about that over the last couple of weeks, getting a little bit more line speed and a little bit more intent in our contact. So that's been a focus. While we see gradual improvement in it, we want to be a lot better. So that's been a real focus for us, and it will continue to be a focus for us for the next few weeks.
Just moving away from that, one of the big topics in rugby league at the minute in this country is reserve grade. All the coaches and everyone seems to have a say on it. I don't think you've been asked about it yet. What's your opinion on reserve grade?
Oh, look, certainly make life a lot easier having a reserve grade, that's for sure. I mean, we spend a lot of time talking about dual registrations and players on loan and where they need to go and where's best suited for the player and the club, and then we've got to juggle the aspects of who they train with early in the week and when they go and join the club they're on loan to, and it's a nightmare. In an ideal scenario, we'd all have a reserve grade team, make it very easy, and there'd be less players coming out of academy getting lost to the game, having your own reserve grade team. So there's a lot of upside to having your own reserve grade team. Obviously, there's a cost factor involved, and that's what the league and the clubs have got to weigh up, I guess. But in an ideal scenario, all things being equal, it'd make life a lot easier.
So, would you like to bring one in at the Giants when you can do, if you can do?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Like I said, keep better tabs on your players, and where the players not picked in the 17 are going to play every week. You get more opportunity to watch them as a from a collective point of view, rather than watching 4 or 5 different games during the week to see how they've all gone. So I don't see any negative apart from the costs of having your own reserve grade team.
you've been in the country a while now to assess what life's like over here and what Super League's like. How have you found life in the UK and Huddersfield? Has it been a transition?
That's easy. The weather's been good and we've been winning, so there's nothing not to like. I mean, sure, there's going to be some darker times down the track, you know, both with the weather and results. You know, it's not all going to be roses like it's been the last 3 months. We're all realistic enough to understand that, but now look, Huddersfield's a great place to live, and I've been really lucky with the weather, and I've been very, very lucky with the way the team's responded and the way they've performed consistently week in, week out. So far so good.
Last week I asked you about potential incomings and where you're at with that. What about outgoings? There's still a few off contract. You've got Jake, Mamo, Shannon Waitman, Ryan Hinchcliffe. I think there might be a few others in there as well.
Yeah, Shannon's going back to Australia. He's got a good job, and back down the Illawarra area where he's from. He's going to play in the competition down there, and he's got a good job, so he'll be heading back. And Hinchy, we've been talking to frequently about. He's really keen to stay on, and we're really keen to have him on. It's just working through that, and Jake Memo had some interest from Australia, but it's fallen over. So we'll talk to him in the next couple of weeks to see where he's at as well. But obviously we've got some new imports over here, so that's, we've got to balance that. You're only allowed so many, and obviously the monetary side of things, the cap, there are a lot of things to weigh up, what positions we need to get some more depth in and what positions we're comfortable with. So there's a lot of things to weigh up, and Richard and I are working through that at the moment.